And by the end of the day, we did a deal in the pub where we basically swapped our Beneteau for this and a bit of cash, and we ended up with this boat. That's how it happened.
Welcome to Boatlife is Best. Here you'll find interviews with sailors about their boats and their life on board, ranging from family sailing to solo sailing, from absolute beginners to sailing legends on big yachts and small boats, and from brand new to old school. If you like boat tours and conversations with sailors, definitely subscribe to the channel. Buying a sailboat for an around-the-world trip can be quite an undertaking. Well, not for Dominic and Ailsa from the UK. They weren't even looking for a boat when they bumped into this beautiful Nicholson 58 and fell in love instantly.
Azimuth's a Nicholson 58. She's 1996. She was built, designed by David Pedrick. But this one was a special one-off for some multi-millionaire folly in Southampton, and he had it, customised and fitted out by Moody, and had the deck saloon made.
Yeah, because this is really unique with the deck saloon.
Yeah.
Okay. So was that something you were after when you were looking for a boat?
It's a good question. We had this massive long list of things that we wanted, but we kind of threw the list away when we found this boat. So the story is, we used to have a Beneteau 423, which is a French production boat.
Yeah. And
we sailed to Ireland a lot. From our home port is Bristol in England, or Portishead is an actual little place. And we sailed to Ireland, didn't we? And
had a lovely holiday. And we went to Kinsale.
Yeah, a place called Kinsale on the south coast, and we were in a marina there.
Parked near this boat.
Yeah, Edelweiss was right next to this boat, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we were lusting after this boat.
Yeah, we looked at this boat and thought, wow, this is amazing, because we wanted to sail around the world and we were looking for a bigger boat. So I went in. I would just walked up to the office and got chatting to the guy in the office, because everybody in Ireland's like, they want to talk to you, they want to know everything about you, what you're doing. I was in there about half an hour with this guy, and we started talking about sailing around the world, and he was like, oh, you'll be needing a bigger boat. He said, you need a bigger boat. He says, that one over there, that's for sale. I don't want to do my Irish accent, it's terrible. But anyway, he said, yeah, that one over there, Azimuth, that's for sale. He said, the guy's looking to downsize his boat, get something a bit smaller. So we went over and we were a bit cheeky, and we knocked on the door of this boat, and we got to meet the owners, and it was an amazing day. We spent all day looking around this boat and talking to them about it. And Neil
had a sail.
Neil and Bernadette, who owned Azimuth then, they kind of had a quick look at our boat, and they took us out for a sail in it, and by the end of the day we did a deal in the pub where we basically swapped our Beneteau for this and a bit of cash, and we ended up with this boat. That's how it happened.
So at that point, were you actually looking for a boat, or was it just a coincidence?
No, it was in the back of our minds that we needed a bigger boat.
Yeah.
But no.
We hadn't actively started
looking at all. I think it was just fate.
It's quite a big boat.
Yeah.
So you weren't necessarily looking for something.
Definitely not something this big.
No.
We had an upper limit of 50 feet.
Yeah, we were.
And that was on our list. Is maximum 50 foot.
Yeah.
And Neil convinced us that two people could comfortably sail it by sailing it on his own, effectively.
Yeah.
He took us out for this test sail without very much help from me and Dom, and then came back and parked it in a tight spot in the marina all on his own.
Yeah.
And by the end of that, Dom was like, yes, we can manage this, there's no problem.
I mean, he was a greatly experienced sailor, and we weren't that experienced at that point, but to be honest, this is easier. Yeah, this boat's easier to sail than Beneteau was.
Let's have a look around this one-of-a-kind Nicholson 58.
It's a bit of a different layout than you see on most of this kind of boats, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's just quite a unique layout, definitely.
It's dictated by the fact that it's so narrow. So we've been on boats like Hansers or similar sized Beneteaus or something, and you can have a nice circular table and chairs. We can't here because it's there's not enough room. You'd have to go down, move it further down.
Modern boats are much wider at the back, aren't they? This is a classic shape where you've got it's a seagoing shape really, but modern boats are much wider at the back, and this curves right back. And you can see from the back there that it's very narrow.
Yeah.
So it restricts the space a little bit in here. But
it does, but for the 2 of us it's fine. For 4 of us it's fine. Table comes up and flips over, and you can fit a lot of people around it. But it is a fold-over table, which is a bit inconvenient, but it's fine.
Can, when you're sailing, you can sit in here, and you can autopilot controls there, so you can do all your sailing from in here.
Probably during the crossing here, you just all the watches were inside.
All the watches will be inside, So you can be inside and out of the weather if it's any bad weather. Especially, it's great when you're further north, of course. Because, when we were crossing the Bay of Biscay, it was pretty rough, pretty wild. So you can just sit in here. You got that?
A massive galley.
It is big. A lot of space, isn't there, on the on surfaces? Yeah. And it's got a freezer, a big freezer, and a big fridge as well, with a front opening door and a top opening. Yeah. Look, there you go.
It's besides it.
Yeah. Lots of cupboards, of course.
Yeah.
Which is great. Loads of space for all your food and everything.
Yeah.
And
so what was it in this boat that just made you fall in love with it and get it straight away?
Get it? You just buy it that day, I don't know, I think...
Price.
Oh, the price, the price was cheap.
The price was really good when we were told. We were expecting this to be a very expensive boat, and when they said the price, and we were like, oh my goodness, that's within our price range. It suddenly became feasible, and we fell in love with it then, I think. It has everything we wanted, so it's got a lot of space for friends to stay and visit. It's got 3 bathrooms. It only needs 2, but it's got 3. It's not perfect, but if I'd wanted perfect, it would have been significantly more expensive than it was. And we wanted a boat that was ready to go to sea. And while things needed changing and updating, everything about this was sea ready, really. So it's really safe, a really safe.
It's a really safe boat. She's built like a tank.
Yeah.
So she really is. She's
very
the
closely.
hull is this kind of thickness. Fiberglass, and she's incredibly seaworthy.
Do you mind me asking what the price was?
Oh, yeah. So the price, what did it work out at? As £125,000 UK pounds. So it's about 150,000 euros. Wow. Which I think is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, if you look on the internet, I saw one for $500,000.
There you go.
So
there you go.
That's why when they went, what? We were like, and when we could do a boat exchange as well, so we didn't even have to sell our boat to fund it, because everything fell into place, and we all kind of they were anticipating having trouble selling this boat. They were considering taking it to America. The broker had said you might have to move it somewhere else where there's a bigger market for a boat of this size, because it's a small village in Ireland. And so when we turned up and said, oh, it's very pretty, can we have it? Everything kind of just fell into place. So it was all lovely, and then over a whiskey that night in the pub, we went, can we have your boat please? And he said, if I can have yours, and everything was perfect.
Yeah, that's so funny. So we've got so much more to see of this boat.
Great. Yeah. We go this way?
Yep.
So this is what we call this the dinette. I don't know why we call it a dinette, but that's what Neil and Bernadette used to call it, wasn't it? But it's it's another day room, I guess, isn't it? But this table goes down, and that becomes a bed. It's quite a nice large bed, and then there's also this pulls out here, and there's a bunk bed. You can have a bunk bed in here. It's like a hammock type style bunk bed, so you can have 2 people in here if you need to.
But at the front of the boat isn't very comfortable when you're moving along. It's not an ideal space. No. But this bedroom here and that bedroom there, either side of the mast, just up here, it's quite comfortable to sleep in when you're going along. Yeah. So we tend to use these 2 places if we've got friends or kids or whatever sleeping, and they can use the front if they want to when we're at anchor.
So I go in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what we call our guest cabin. There's another bathroom at the back there. Yeah, with a shower and everything. But yeah, as Ailsa said, I like the design of this boat because all the accommodation is around the mast and it's all in the centre of the boat, which is always the most comfortable place to sleep at sea. Yeah. So yeah, I think they thought that really well. You know, like a lot of master cabins on boats are either right at the back, aft, or forward cabins. But on this one, we'll see in a bit, the master cabin is right in the middle. Yeah. And that makes it really comfortable.
So this is the master cabin. It's close to the saloon, so if, when Dom shouts me if he's on watch and he needs help, you just hear it. It's great, but it's really comfortable. All the bedrooms have got places for lee cloths, so there's lee cloths all over the place. It's a proper king-size bed, so it's big enough for Dominic, which is cool. Loads of 2 wardrobes, got loads of storage and stuff under the bed, and a vanity unit, and then we've got our own ensuite bathroom with a standalone shower, which is behind there, which is always really nice. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this there you go.
Wow.
Put the light on.
Yeah, there's a light.
Yeah. So this is a Perkins Sabre engine, 135 horsepower, but it's great because you can get right around it, no problem. And then we've got everything in here, so we've got freshwater system, fridge and freezer. That's the homemade water maker, which looks a bit dodgy, but it works really well. Does about 200 litres an hour. And then behind you is the generator, which is that's a 75 horsepower Perkins, which is crazy size generator. Yeah. But this used to have those old style electric cookers with the rings. You used to have one of them on here. Yeah. And that's what they used to run that for.
Oh wow.
Air conditioning over there, which it doesn't work at the moment, but hopefully one day it will. Yeah. Maybe when we get to Florida or somewhere like that, we'll get someone to fix it. Yeah, and then over in that corner over there is all the electrics for the boat, wind generator, solar panels, inverter. Yeah.
The more modern stuff that you installed yourself,
put all that in, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But
it's a proper room.
It is. Oh yeah, hot water tank. Everything's in here basically, and it's all really accessible. Hydraulics for the bow thruster, and the windlass is all hydraulic on this boat. It all runs off the engine. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So what did you think when you first saw this?
Definitely sold it. Yeah. Sold it to me. Neil had a big smile on his face, and he came in and he says, "Dom, come in here and have a look at this." And I was like, "Huh?" Yeah, I want it. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I saw you sitting there last night. That looks.
That's the sun deck.
On a boat of this size, you expect it to have comfortable places to sit, and it hasn't. Outside it just hasn't, and it's because its age, and it's because it's so narrow. The cockpit combing's really, really high, and it's at right angles to the seats, so you can't have beds out here or anything like that. But apart from that, it's completely safe to be out here. in heavy weather and when you're crossing oceans.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's very sea safe.
Yeah.
I mean, we took one wave over the back here on the Atlantic crossing, but that only one, and even in quite heavy seas.
Yeah.
Only one wave.
Yeah. I'm just standing here because of the wind.
Yeah.
It will just get really noisy.
But yeah, she's got 4 electric winches.
Not all electric.
Oh no, so these 2 are, that's not, is it?
Yeah.
And then same on the other side, so loads of winch options. Really powerful winches for the Genoa as well here. So
yeah, it must be huge, the Genoa.
Yeah, the Genoa's, I think she's 90 square metres, something like that.
So what does she like to sail?
Oh, she's brilliant to sail. Really, really easy sail. I mean, she's Neil used to call her a thoroughbred because she's fast. She's a really fast boat. So on a beam reach with 25 or 20 to 25 knots, she'll do anything up to about between 9 and 11 knots. And coming across the Atlantic, if we had trade winds and we were on a broad reach, we were surfing down waves. I think we hit. What was the speed
we got our
record?
highest speed ever, which was 16.8.
16.8 knots.
Which we've never had. We've been, up to 13, 14 a few times, but not 60. No. That was just scary stuff.
So she's just really easy to set up and get her to balance right, and not really a lot of effort.
No.
The effort's in raising the mainsail, I guess, because it's nearly a 20-metre mast, so that's quite hard work. That's a good workout. Beautiful boat to sail. A lot of fun when you're heeled right over and she's in the groove, I think.
Yeah.
Hanging onto this wheel.
Yeah, but still feeling really safe and comfortable because of her weight and.
Yeah, that's right, the weight.
Yeah.
I mean, she, having sailed a Beneteau, I know that the Beneteau, our Beneteau was 9 tons, I think, and if it's heavy seas, you get a lot of bottom slap with a boat like that, and you get a lot of, as soon as you hit a big wave, you just the speed dies.
Yeah.
But on this boat, she cuts through waves really well, and because of the mast, there's a lot of momentum, so she just keeps going.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
Yeah, she slices through the water better. It's calmer sail. It's slightly less, but a lot less bouncy.
Yeah.
And having gone back from this boat to smaller boats, or on with friends' boats and stuff, like sailing the Beneteau would feel like sailing the dinghy now compared to this. It's a bit more lively.
Yeah.
You chuck it around a bit, and this boat you don't.
You can never go back to a production yacht after this.
No, I don't think so now.